Today is Stretch and Strength Yoga. It's going to be handy to have blocks if you have blocks. We're working on legs today, Kaylee's favorite.
Nope, I'm not working on legs today. I'm hanging out.
So we're going to pump it up a little bit today, and we're going to do a lot of focus work on small movements. So come down to your back, start to ground down, start to land in the room. Do not go to sleep like Kaylee intends to do. Start to land in the room. Feel your hips on the ground and try and get soft in the low back. So take some sways with the hips. Maybe wiggle around. Just trying to get as soft as possible in the low back. Maybe even seeing if you could slide your fingers in underneath your low back. See if you have a little space there, the natural curve in your low back. And if not, maybe a little tilt back and forth of your pelvis just to see if you can get some of these muscles in here to loosen and soften. And then land on the ground, letting your arms be wherever your arms and shoulders are comfortable. And take a moment to really arrive on the mat as if you're making a little wall around the mat, you, and everything else. So the mat is your sacred space. Space where you come to take a little time out and just be present with yourself. Start to notice how you feel emotionally, mentally, energetically, and physically. Start to notice how your breath is. And then we're going to begin by taking our feet up to, and then reverse your circles. And then do one at a time. So pull back and push. So like you're pedaling your feet. Push and pull. Really starting to slowly start to feel some muscles in your legs, and then start to make pedaling with your legs, straightening the leg, bending. Starting to feel your leg. Trying to keep your hips pretty steady on the ground, not moving around through the hips or taking it into the lower back. And then feet up to the ceiling, and we're going to turn the feet in. So turn the feet in pigeon-toed and feel which muscles hold the feet in. And then we're going to take them center and pigeon-toed. Center and pigeon-toed. So try not to move your hips on the ground, just move your legs. Why do you look so confused? Are you just grouchy?
I was confused.
And then take your feet center and take them out and in. Out and in. So again, we're not moving our hips around, we're trying to keep our hips still, and we're moving our feet and legs. So the leg rotates in the hip socket. Nice, slow, steady breath. And then lower your feet to the ground, knees up. Take a little side sway. Make sure the low back is nice and soft. Leave the feet about hip width apart. Left foot stays down, hips stay on the ground. Right foot rises about halfway. So not all the way up, halfway. Now press through the heel. Strong leg. Little circles with the heel. Teeny circles with the heel. Trying not to wiggle the hips on the ground. Trying to just move the leg. Go the other direction. And then we're going to pull the leg out and in, back to midline, out and in. Trying to keep that hip steady on the ground. We're just moving the leg. Lower the foot, take a little side sway of the knees and hips. Left leg rises, press through the heel, strong leg. Little circles as if you're making the circle with the heel of your foot. And then reverse the direction. And then out and in. Using the muscles of your legs. So not just flopping around. We're trying to find the muscles that make the leg move. Watch for gripping in the right toes. Watch for any other gripping anywhere else. Foot down, knees side to side. Take your feet a little bit further away from the glutes. Press the heels down into the ground. The balls of the feet into the ground, toes soft. Press here and then lift the hips a little bit, firing up the back of your legs. And then see if you can feel like you're trying to pull the heels back towards the glutes. See if you can find more muscles in the back of your legs. Little pulses of the hips here. So up and down, small movements trying to keep really strong legs. Steady breath. Lower the hips. Take the feet a little bit further away from the glutes. Fire up again. So feet strong. Feel like you're trying to pull the feet back to the hips and then lift the hips. Really strong legs. Little tiny pulses with the hips up and down. Backs of your legs should be super fired up. And then take the hips down. Take the legs long and give them a shake. Reach as long as you can. So lift one heel at a time and then the other. As if you're trying to get the heels a little bit further away from the glutes, then point the toes. Arms up overhead. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as if you're trying to pull your ribcage longer, longer, longer. Take the feet over to the right. Take the shoulders over to the right. Big banana on the ground. Slowly back to center and then over to the other side. Watch for tension in the neck. Slowly bring the torso and the legs back to neutral and knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Take the feet up to the ceiling, happy baby. So hands can grab shins or outer edges of your feet. And just notice how your hips feel. Maybe take some movement, see how your legs feel, see how your feet feel. Checking in. And the knees back into chest, little hug, roll on over to a side and come on up to tabletop. Move and breathe in your tabletop. Inhale forward, exhale towards a child's pose. Find your breath. And then for a few breaths, inhale forward and take the hips over to the right side as you exhale. So funky side, child's pose. Inhale forward, exhale right side. And then over to the left. Kaylee is here under protest today, so she's going to be doing a lot of just hanging out in child's pose. Come on, move and breathe. You know it makes you feel better. And then maybe tucking the toes and hovering the knees. So hover the knees, inhale forward, exhale back. Start to pump it up a little. This is too much, keep the knees down.
This is too much.
If you're looking for the simpler solution, always keep your eye on Kaylee. She can find it. And then come on up to a tabletop, regular tabletop. Find your base in your arms. We're going to work the legs. Take the right leg back, even with the hip, nice and long. Watch for buckling in the shoulders or in the back. So nice and strong, lifting out of the ground. Hold the leg steady. And bend the knee. Take the heel, little pulses.
I'm doing it. Why are you laughing?
There's just a lot of noise going on back there. Little pulses to the ceiling without moving anything else. So watch for that buckling in arms and shoulders and back. And then take the leg long. We're going to inhale, open, draw the heel out to the right. Exhale, draw it back. Make this movement small and controlled. If it's too much, bend the knee and move the knee. But small movements. Out to the right, in towards, even with the hip. So, press through the heel. Keep the leg long. And then lower the toes and press through the heel, static or little pulses. Take the tension out of the neck. Lower the right knee, set up your base, nice and strong in shoulders and chest. Left leg even with the hip. Hold, press through the heel. Lift up out of the ground with your arms and your shoulders. Steady back. Bend the knee, little pulses of the heel to the ceiling without anything else moving, just the leg. Long leg, little movement left and then back. Inhale, open, exhale, back. Move with your breath, slow, controlled. Feel the muscles of your leg. Watch for lots of movement in the hips and lots of swaying in the back. And then lower the toes, press through the heel. Lower the left knee, tuck the toes, down dog, and warm up your down dog in whatever way feels right for you. See if you can actively pull your hips away from your wrists. So really pulling up out of the ground. Rather than sinking into wrists and elbows and shoulders, pull yourself up, send the hips higher. Little soft bend in the knees. We're going to pick up the right foot a little teeny bit, and we're going to step it forward and back. Forward and back. Try to keep a strong right leg. Left leg can move. The less you move the left leg, the more you're going to use those lower stomach muscles to move the right leg. Kaylee doesn't believe me that they're connected. Return the right leg, find your base, find your breath. Pick up the left heel, little pull in and back. Down dog, find your breath. Lower the knees a little more to the ground. Sink, 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 sink. And then send the legs towards straight, hips high. Lower the knees. Hips high. Strong in the shoulders. And then with a bend in the knees, look towards the hands. Right foot steps outside right hand, left foot outside left hand. We're going to lower and raise hips here. It's a good time to have your block handy. So lower and raise. Start to do this. You're pulling yourself up out of the ground from the heel. So bending down, using your muscles to pull the hips back down. Pull the hips down. Pull the hips up. What was that? That was crazy. Did that feel good, at least?
Yeah. It's dramatic.
Bring your hips to the point where you can comfortably hover but feel active. So don't sink into the joints and hang out in the joints, but feel strong in the legs. Comfortably hover. So you can hold a steady breath. Peel one heel up at a time without moving your hips. One at a time, nice and slow and steady. This is where the block comes in handy, just to keep a little balance. Kaylee hates hip stuff. Bring your heels down, and we're going to pivot on the heels and turn the toes in and toes out. Toes in, toes out. Move with the muscles of your legs. Nice and slow and controlled. So we're not just pulling on the knees, we're really trying to find the muscles in our legs. Slowly walk the feet back in, forward fold. So come to a forward fold, hang it out, let go of the tension in your head, your neck and shoulders. Find your breath, turn your world upside down. Deep bend in the knees, inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, exhale, purr to heart. Find your heart center. We're going to move with our breath, starting small, inhale, arms overhead, exhale, purr to heart. She is going to sigh this whole practice. She's really protesting. Start to build upon this as you bring your arms down, purr to heart, sink the hips, baby chair. And then maybe starting to lift up off the heels as you come, arms overhead. Things to watch for to help you with your balance here. Engage the hip flexors, engage the stomach muscles. Don't lock the knees. Find something that's not moving. Focus. Find the muscles that stabilize your legs as if you're squeezing your knees together and pulling them apart. Bring it down to a comfortable chair. So not as far as you can go, but where you can hold steady and strong. Feel like you're peeling your heels apart, peeling your knees apart, and then squeezing them back in at the same time. So try to find those stabilizer muscles on the outside and insides of your legs. We're going to peel one heel up at a time, nice and slow, trying not to move our hips. Trying to take one full breath for each foot. Inhale, lift, exhale, slow down. Focus. Move with your breath. See if you can peel both heels up and hold. Option to stay here or inhale, open knees just a teeny bit. Exhale, bring knees back towards each other. Small, tiny, controlled movement. Breathe. Wherever you're at, slowly lower the heels. Come on up to mountain pose. Shimmy the hips, let go. Find your center. Find your feet on the ground. Pick up the toes, soften the toes. Soften around the knees, the hips. Maybe even close your eyes and find your center. Find your breath. We're going to move through the legs, so maybe bringing our hands to our hips to help remind us to stay stable in the hips. We're going to do some balancing, breathing, moving. Inhale, peel up right leg. Exhale, step back, high lunge. Inhale, back to high knee. Exhale, down. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale, knee up, exhale, down. If you like, you can start to move your arms with this. Arms forward and down, forward and back. Or you can keep your hands on the hips. Step back to high lunge. Hold here. Find your hips. Strong both legs. We're going to lower the right knee slowly towards the ground and then back up. Small movement, steady hips, strong in both legs. Find a high lunge, torso forward, weight onto right leg. Push through the right heel, start to come up to warrior three. Pressing through the right heel, nice and long in both legs. Slowly bring the right knee forward, back to where we started. Mountain pose. Connect to your breath. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, heart to heart. That sounded like a yawn.
It was a yawn.
Hold your firm. Heart center. Find your center. Left side. Inhale, lift left knee. Exhale, step back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step back. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, down. Option to add the arms, option to just keep your hands on your hip. Option to just keep sighing. We just started, our legs are just warm. The fun is yet to come.
Yeah.
Step back, high lunge.
You're right, the fun is yet to come. Shavasana.
Find a steady base, both legs active, lower left knee and pull back up. So we're moving through the thighs rather than thinking about pushing the knee down. Pull up with the inner thighs, pull down. Use the legs.
I was falling.
Both legs strong. Watch for gripping in the right toes. Watch for gripping in the jaw. Hold a steady high lunge. Start to bring the torso forward. Press through the left heel. Weight onto the right leg. Pop up the left. Warrior 3. Breathe and hold. Bend the left knee. Bring it all the way forward where we came. And then mountain pose. Connect to your breath. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, purr to heart. Hold your prayer, heart center. Bend both knees. Start to bring the right knee up. Step back, high lunge. Hold. Nice and slow, gentle transitions. If you have your blocks, grab both your blocks, place them in front of the left leg. You're going to come down to low lunge, find your blocks. So first, steady up the left leg. Get really strong as if you're pulling yourself up out of the heel. Then the right leg strong. Push forward. Hold the right leg here. Right leg really strong. Pressing through the heel. Take the toes inside and out. In and out. So turning through using all of the leg. Watch for the hip moving. With the hips still, we're moving the leg. So the leg within the hip, not the hips. With a bend in the left leg, toes neutral, pointing down. We're going to lift the heel and lower the toes. Lift the heel, lower the toes. Find the muscles of the leg. Lift the heel, slowly bring the heel over to the right side. Lift and lower the heel. Take the heel back even with the hip, lower down, low lunge. Bend the back leg, inhale, rise up, high lunge. Through warrior 3, lifting right heel. Step forward, mountain pose. Connect to your breath. Bring your hands to prayer heart center. Find your mountain pose. Weight onto right leg. Start to peel up left knee. Step back slow and with control to high lunge. Forward to low lunge. Find your blocks. Set up your base. Press through the left heel and lift. Turn toes in and toes out, letting the leg move within the hip socket with the hips steady. So this movement is coming from the leg, not the low back and the sacrum. Leg even with the heel, pull the even with the hip, pull the heel left and right. Still steady, still strong.
We didn't do this on the other side.
What?
We didn't do this on the other side.
What's what?
We didn't. We went up and down.
Oh, we did too. Sorry. We already did this one. You're right. Bring the heel over to the left. Lower and lift.
No, we didn't go up and down.
We did when we were on our knees, no?
No, we didn't go up and down on this leg. We didn't go this, right? Wait.
Oh, You want to go, I was going to do that. You want to go this, we have to do it exactly the way we did it on the other leg. Okay. Lift, press through the heel, turn the toes, and then we're going to lift and lower the leg. I was going to do it the other way, but okay. Keely's brain could not compute. We'd already moved the leg over and pulled the heel towards the left. Lift and lower the heel. Trying to keep really strong in the right leg. This should fire up the right glute. You should feel it in the right glute.
I'm uneven now. You did it in the wrong order.
Slowly press through the left heel. I like to change it up so you don't get bored and you don't know what's coming. Lower the toes.
That's the problem. I should know what's coming.
Back to the knees. Inhale, rise up, Highland. Slow and with control, press through Warrior 3. Woo. Up to stand. Mountain pose. Connect to your breath. Bring your prayer to heart center. Hold here. Invitation to close the eyes and peel the heels up one at a time, not moving the hips. And one at a time, nice and slow, feeling the legs, starting to feel what's present. Notice how much more wobbly this feels if your eyes are closed. Lower both heels, connect to your breath. And on the third time, inhale up and swan dive it down, all the way down, touch the ground, forward fold. So deeper bend in the knees to let your torso find your thighs. Take the tension out of your neck. Let go. Find your breath. Bring your blocks back in front of your feet. Hold your blocks. We're going to bring the weight onto the left leg. Shoot the right leg back. Bent leg, left leg. So not quite a Warrior 3. Hold the right leg here. We're going to pull the left heel up and lower. Strong in the right leg. Still pressing through the heel. Slowly step the right leg back. We're coming to pyramid pose. So step back, find a place where your legs can be comfortable, your feet, ankles are comfortable. Using your blocks to keep your torso a little higher, pyramid pose. So in pyramid pose, often the shape is to try and bring your head down to your knee. But I want you to bring your torso up and focus more in the legs. So take the back and the lower back out of the equation, focus on the legs. So imagine you're pulling the left heel towards the right heel. So imagine you're trying to tear the mat apart with your legs. See if you can get a little more action in the back of your legs. If you're still not feeling it here, you can peel up the left toes. Watch for locking the left knee when you do that. And you can press through the ball of the foot. So press and lift, finding the back of your leg. And if you'd like the challenge, we're going to do a little bit of a balance challenge in pyramid. So set up your base first. You're going to feel like you're trying to pull your legs apart, so all of your legs are nice and strong. Bring your torso up, arms out. Hold here.
All of your legs, because You have so many of them.
All of your leg muscles, the whole leg. That's what I meant. If you want to be a caterpillar, you can be a caterpillar. Now see if you can peel up the ball of the foot. Breathe.
These are too close. Ooh.
Maybe bend the back knee, come off the heel, and lower. Balance challenge.
I started falling and accidentally popped my leg into place.
Wherever you're at, slowly return to regular pyramid and step forward. Mountain pose. Connect to your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. And on the third time, inhale up. And swan dive it down. Forward fold. Let go. Notice left and right sides. Find your blocks. We're going to send the left leg back. Hold the left leg strong. Peel up the right heel, nice and slow. Slow, controlled movement, not locking right knee. And then we're stepping back, pyramid pose. So find pyramid, torso longer. Find your legs. Maybe peel up the toes. Maybe press through the ball of the foot and pull it up and down. Find what works for your legs, where you're tight. And then balance challenge. Bring your torso up, arms out, even with the shoulders. Strong. Peel up the toes without locking knees. Maybe even slowly bend the back knee and sink the hips. Breathe and balance. Wherever you're at, pyramid pose. Step forward, connect to your breath. Third time, swan dive it down. Forward fold. Take your blocks over to the side of the mat. Deep bend in the knees, and we're going to step open. So nice open legs, feet out, heels in. Find a forward fold first. So have your blocks. So we're focusing on the legs. Take all of the attention out of the back. So lift your torso up. Find your legs. And we're going to move our hips left and right using inner thigh. Nice and slow. And you can start to press the hips back as you start to open up the inner thigh. Feel it. Find where you're tight. Find where you're holding and gripping. So important that this movement comes from the inner thigh and not through the hips. You don't want it to come up into the low back, twisting through the sacrum. We're looking for inner thigh. Maybe start to bend one knee as you lower the hips. Start to experiment with your movement. Where do you feel it? And if you like, maybe starting to come to ninja pose. So ninja pose. Left knee bends, right heel pivots, and the toes come up. Watch for locking right knee. Sink the hips down. Slow to the other side. Bend right knee, pivot left heel. Sink the hips. If you want to go to balance challenge, you're going to start to bring your hands to prayer. Engage the stomach and move through your legs without the blocks. And then wherever you're at, forward fold. This time, inch your feet out, maybe a lot wider. See if you can get a little more space. Breathe. Slowly inch your feet in a little bit closer. Bring your hands onto the left side. So in front of the left knee, bend the left knee a little bit, weight onto the left leg, peel up right heel. Hold, press through the heel. Lower the heel and lift. Not through the sacrum, use the leg. Lower the right leg, switch sides, bring your blocks in front of your right leg, bend the knee. Set up, strong right leg, press through left heel. Lift and lower the heel. Slowly lower the left leg, back to center with your blocks, forward fold. Let go. If you're ready to play a little, bend your knees and let your hands find the mat. Start to press your shoulders, your chest up and open, and bring your hips forward. So you're going to come towards handstand shape. So you'll start to bring your weight onto your hands rather than sinking. So this is sinking into my wrists. I'm going to pull up first. So pull up out of the ground, chest, shoulders strong and active. Then start to lift my heels, take some weight into my hands. Slow. Maybe you're ready to start taking a few heel kicks. So coming forward, maybe popping up, popping up. If you're super strong, maybe you're ready. Kaylee can just, she's way ahead of me. I was gonna say the next step, but you were already there. So you start with heel kicks, little bunny hops, just getting the feel for having your hips up over your shoulders. And Kaylee is going to demonstrate pulling up. So once you get stronger, you pull your heels up nice and slow, 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 slow. Come to a handstand. So one of the tricks for handstand is being prepared to fall out. So be prepared to soften a little and take the motion as you fall out. So Kaylee twists. A lot of people just bend their knees, sink into a ball. There are lots of ways to come out. Just have faith that you can catch yourself. And wherever you're at, bring your right foot near your right hand, your left foot near your left hand. Sink to Malasana Yogi Squat and notice how it feels. Did it feel any different than when we started? So if you're sinking down and you're pressing into your legs, so your arms press into your legs, press your legs back into your arms, lift your torso. Breathe. You can take this passive, maybe close your eyes. You can sit on a block. Find your breath. Slowly sink down to your hips. Bring your feet out. Legs long.
Oh, that's right.
So press your heels into the ground, point your toes, pull them back. So not pressing the back of our knees down, but just working through our legs. We're going to lean our torso back just enough to give ourselves a little room. Hands are down on the ground for support. You can also bring your blocks if your arms are a little short. We're going to bring our feet a little bit wider, not a lot wider, a little bit wider. Stomach engaged. Pick up the right leg, hold. Watch for cheating. Ow. Watch for cheating the movement by leaning back a lot to give more muscles room to do the cheating. So torso is long, stomach is active. Pick up right heel. Whew. We haven't done this in a while. My leg is like not ready to do this. Breathe. Heel in and out. You can do that. Watch for this movement coming from your back. Be strong in the leg.
I cannot believe I showed you.
Lower the right heel. Shake the leg out. Take the palm, the heel of your hand, and wriggle it around. Circle it around on the right thigh. Other side. Pick up the left heel with the leg, not the back. Breathe in and out. Whoa, we haven't done this in ages. My leg is like very weak. Lower the left heel, shake it up. Circles with the heels of your hands. Slowly make your way down to your back. Not Shavasana.
Way down to Shavasana.
Make your way down to your back and take your feet to the ceiling, happy baby. Notice how your legs feel from when we started the class.
You don't do happy baby in your classes a lot.
It's one that people can take into their sacrum a lot and do funny things with their low back, so try to not add it too much. Everything's about variation and
Oh, my back cracked. My upper back.
So you can move your legs, you can hold it static, you can open and stretch. Take some time to just feel your legs, what is present. And then bring your knees in. Take your feet to the ceiling and shake out the legs. Really shake out the legs. So try and get all the muscles you can possibly find in your legs to shake and wiggle and let go. And then lower the feet down, cross right knee over left. Bring them in towards your chest. Feet towards opposite shoulders. Breathe into the glute piriformis space on the right side. Slowly unravel, switch sides, left knee over right. Slowly unravel soles of the feet together. Feet come to the ground, knees open. So just notice how you feel. Notice what pulls in this. Maybe your low back, maybe your knees easily find the ground, maybe they're way up. Just notice. And then make a decision for where you would like to be for your resting pose. If hips open is where you would like to be, take a look at your knees and where they are naturally, and then prop them up just about an inch higher than they go naturally. So use a block, use a bolster, use a pillow, use anything to just take it a little bit higher than your natural end point.
My blocks are too far.
I'm going to demonstrate on Kaylee apparently. So, Kaylee's knees almost get to the ground, but not quite. Even if they do normally get to the ground, I do recommend placing something in underneath because this is a rest. This tells your body that you have support underneath you and that everything else can soften and take a break. The muscles know where you are in space. And they can all turn off and take a little break. I chose the brightest blanket. So, wherever you chose to be for your resting pose, start to settle in and land. Resting pose is coming to the ground, releasing all the tension in the physical body. So start with a body scan, noticing any places that are still tight, still gripping, starting to release and surrender any tension. If you like, you can imagine sending fresh breath to places where you're gripping. So if your hands feel tight, your feet feel tight, your legs, imagine sending fresh breath right to that spot, as if all the fresh oxygen that you're breathing into your lungs is going to be sent intentionally to one muscle group. Send it there, and then the exhale sweeps away that tension, brings it out, sweeps away what's no longer needed. So find any places that you're still holding and gripping, check in on the muscles of the face, the neck, the low back, check in on the inside of your mouth, around your eyes. Are you gripping in your hearing? So do your ears feel tight? Does your jaw feel tight? Just checking in, finding softness, finding ways to loosen and soften. And perhaps even taking a moment to say to yourself right here in this moment, all of my needs are met. Really grounding yourself in present moment, giving yourself permission to let go and soften. Take a break. Let go of control of even your breath. And then let go of control of the mind. So imagine you could sit in the center of your brain and then let the thoughts fire as they naturally fire. As if you're a little miniature version of yourself and you're going to watch the thoughts as if they are not quite all of you. There's something just a little bit above this little miniature version of yourself. Maybe you can imagine them being like a TV screen or some other visual that helps you connect to the thoughts are there. The thoughts naturally occur. And we are something a little more than just these thoughts. These thoughts do not need to be controller and ruler of the show all of the time. Starting to soften and let go, even in our mind. And then perhaps getting softer and softer and quieter, drawing deeper and deeper within. So perhaps we find the sound of our own heartbeat, the unstruck chord. Notice the mind's tendency to step back in if we do locate that sound. Oh, look, I found it. And sometimes we even have a conversation. Haha, I got it. Look, I finally got there. We have this little dialogue, and we're right back in the thoughts. And gently practice starting over, stepping back a little bit from the thoughts, and walking slowly and quietly deeper within. If you have the time to take, spending time practicing, gently walking away from the thoughts every time you get distracted, please take the time that you need. If you need to finish up at the 60-minute mark, please start to begin to bring gentle awareness to the physical body, wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers, and slowly make your way to a fetal position on whatever side is calling to you. Curl up in a ball. And take a moment to connect to the fetal position. Coming to the fetal position is reminding us of a time in the womb when all of our needs were met, when we had not judged ourselves as negative or positive. We were just a little spark of life. We come to this pose often to remind ourselves that that spark of life exists within us, waiting for us to connect, unchanged by our experiences, our judgments, to take a moment to recharge in this pose. Dropping your barriers of protection, dropping the layers of judgment we place on ourselves, and connecting within to that place that holds compassion, and unconditional love. And then slowly and gently bring yourself back up to a seated position, hands at prayer at heart space. And take another moment to connect to this, bringing our left and right sides to meet in front of our heart. This gesture of accepting ourselves as whole and complete, precisely as we are. May you spend the rest of your day surrounded in a little more compassion and unconditional love. Allow it to shine from within for yourself and then out into the world for your community and your loved ones. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. Thank you for joining us.